Hello, fellow travelers. My name is Bonnie Preston. I am the proud and honorable owner of the Sacred Cow Yoga Studio located in Ipswich, Queensland. I've studied yoga for over 34 years now. In some ways, I think you could say I have studied even longer, but I started practicing and started teaching in 1984. I have been in the Iyengar tradition. Currently, my teacher is Francois Raoult and Judith Hansen-Lassiter. My meditation history is a little bit more varied than that, but I am doing the Lojong training with Norman Fisher. And the Lojong training is the training in compassion. That is my current practice. Essentially, I had a very chaotic, unpredictable, very disruptive childhood that was, and then as I grew up, I was a child very much of the 70s, and we had a lot of teachers and a lot of hope and a lot of high aspirations in those years. And sometimes I look at my life and I think every event led me here to practice. And opening this studio was a dream that I had for a very long time. I think in every way my past made me want to help people. I have always had this deep desire to make a difference in people's lives and to make a difference in the world. So everything has led to this. I look at the variety that we have at our studio. I look at, there's all ages. There are every kind of profession, every kind of worker. I travel a fair bit, and always when I travel I go to yoga studios, and the one thing that I'm struck with every single time I go traveling and I come back here is how special this community is and how inclusive it is, and how there is just there's a real sense of we belong to this. When I went to go open the studio, it was my dream, it was my deepest heart. I thought I really want to create a conscious community. I want to create where people feel that they can go and they can be with like-minded people as we're all working ourselves out on this journey.
Hi, my name's Jennifer Howard. I'm the State Member for Ipswich, and I'm the Assistant Minister of State assisting the Premier. I've been a student of Bonnie's in Ipswich for almost 10 years now. Yoga and being a part of the yoga community has been a wonderful part of my life, and it's also had a very positive effect on my career, particularly in politics. It's given me a great sense of myself and a great balance when it comes to dealing with some of the stresses of my job.
In yoga, a yoga community is called a kula. In Buddhism we would say sangha. And it is a very, might even say it's an informal community. But in the truth, we share something so deeply peaceful and beautiful and open and caring, and something in this world that I think a lot of people seek. We have it. We have it, we've made it, we've created it, we continue to create it, it continues to grow.
I think Ipswich is a community that people have often criticised over the years. Ipswich has a very strong sense of social justice. It's a community that's always had to fight for its fair share. We've got people with we've got some of the wealthiest people in Australia living in Ipswich, right next door to people who have struggled a little bit. But we're a great community, and most people who come here love it. Yoga's had a really strong impact on the Ipswich community. 10 years ago in Ipswich, you couldn't get a decent cup of coffee, and you did not see people walking around the street with yoga mats. It's a great sight to see, and a lot of people talk to me because because I'm a public figure, they know I do yoga. I have a lot of people approach me and say, so where do you do yoga? What do you do? So it's had a great impact on the community. The yoga studio in Ipswich, I'd say, has been a catalyst for change in the community. As I said earlier, yoga and good coffee arrived about the same time in Ipswich, so that's a great catalyst for change.
We have people from all over the world. There's men at the studio, and interesting, the number of men that are starting to come to yoga are really increasing. And I think that whatever the stigma is that keep men away, I think that they get hooked, like, do they not need peace in their life? People refer to it sometimes as a haven of peace in Ipswich, and I often get that feeling sometimes when I'm teaching and I'm sitting up here and we're in meditation or we're practicing, and I can hear the world outside the door, and I will feel the palatable peace in the room, and I will feel how deep and connected we are all in that moment, and it sort of feels like an island in the stream sometimes. Hearing issues, hearing what goes on with people, just, if anything, it absolutely makes me realize why I do what I do. It never gets me down, but it does, I care deeply for the people in my life, and I care deeply for my students. And as a teacher, I'm sometimes amazed at the amount of pain that humans endure. I think I could consider every student my friend. I have lots of dreams in the future. I'm a traveler. I'd like to travel the world. I'd like to be running workshops and retreats for my students and really giving them that chunk of time out of these insane lives that most of us lead. I would like to be teaching and running 2-week retreats and let people see parts of the world and have yoga holidays. They're just amazing. Yoga holidays are different than any holiday that you could ever go on. And you come out of it a richer, deeper, more peaceful, more connected person. It's not something that this world that we live in offers to us.
We are just so lucky to have someone like Bonnie, with her high caliber of teaching. We are incredibly lucky to have someone like her in our community. She's trained other yoga teachers. She's brought about a real sense of commitment, not just to people's own health, but to the health of the community. She teaches kindness, she teaches compassion, she keeps us strong in every way.
This is a poem by Dana Falls, and it's called Self-Observation Without Judgment. She's a yogi, by the way. Release the harsh and painted inner voice. It is just a throwback to the past and holds no truth about this moment. Let go of self-judgment, the old learned ways of beating yourself up for each imagined inadequacy. Allow the dialogue within the mind to grow friendlier and quiet. Shift out of inner criticism and life suddenly looks different. I can say this only because I make the choice 100 times a day to realize the voice that refuses to acknowledge the real me. What's needed here isn't more prodding toward perfection, but intimacy, seeing clearly, and embracing what I see. Love, not judgment, sows the seeds of tranquility and change.